Surprise, surprise, surprise. Guess who's alive? Yay. On very short notice, which is why nobody had notification to get here except for, within the last 5 minutes. But that's okay. Because we're live. Yay. I have had many, many people, and I want to thank them all. I won't do it individually, but thank you all. People who have been checking up on me to make sure I'm still alive and that I'm okay. And I very much appreciate that. I love you guys. Thank you, thank you. I'm alive. Woohoo! I don't know about okay, but I'm alive, still this side of the dirt, so that's a good thing. Well, for most people, that's a good thing. Hope everyone else is doing well. Hi, Iris. How are you? Oh. Yeah, on this side of the dirt's a good thing. Although, I have my haters that would wish otherwise, but I'm stubborn and I'm going to live forever just to spite them. Well, I'm sorry. Most of my shows have been flops because I'm just not my normal ranty self. I don't have anything to rant about. Well, I kind of do, but I don't. It's not really a rant, it's more a frustration with my grandson and my daughter. Yeah. Although I put it out there before, and I'm going to do it again, that within the next couple of weeks, I will be having a sale. And hopefully that will go okay. While going through some of the boxes and things, I have found a copious amount of jewelry that I completely forgot I had. So, hey, Dibble. I have no idea where it came from, but I have this really beautiful bracelet. It's butterflies and it's abalone. I'm not sure if it's sterling. It's still really shiny and it was just in a plastic bag, so it might be rhodium plated over sterling, or it might just not be sterling. I don't know. I haven't looked at it with magnifying. But it's abalone shell, but all the abalone is dyed different colors. So there's like regular abalone and there's green and purple and orange. And I was like, holy crap, where did this come from? It's gorgeous. Doesn't fit me, but it's gorgeous. And I was like, well, somebody will want that, because it's really, really pretty. I found a lot of things. Some things I remember, some things I don't. So I'll be going through all of that. I know I have some sterling that I found. I'm not sure whether I should polish it or not, clean it up. I don't know. But I'll be going through all of that because my mom and I have been going through some things. I finally found a picture of John and I together. I didn't know I had one. It's not a good one, but it is the two of us together when we first moved here. Mom's okay. She was a little overheated because, she's wearing a sweater. I'm like, yeah, it's, 9 o'clock in the morning and it's like almost 70. And hey, Iris, you're wearing a sweater. I was like, But Mom was okay.
My hair is.
I can barely hear you, Iris.
Okay. Oh, my speakers are all the way up.
Yeah, you're not coming through at all. It's deep, 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 deep. Hey, my badass ninja. How are you? She's very frustrated. She did send me a picture. She got a picture of the new dog, the boyfriend's dog. Stupidest name ever for a dog. The dog's name is Oyster. why would you name a dog after nasty looking snot from the sea? I don't understand, but it's a beautiful dog. My mom was so funny the other day. She's like, last week she goes, well, she's big. She's bigger than Desiree's dog. And I just hope it's not part bull. And I'm like, what? I was like, well, your granddaughter is all bull. So, oh, well, I don't really know how to take that, my badass, but I hope things are headed in a more positive direction for you. Um, and I told my mom that in this area, almost all dogs are going to be part pit bull. I'm like, why? What's wrong with that? And she goes, well, they have a bad reputation. I'm like, Mom, you love Simi. And she goes, well, Simi's adorable. I was like, Simi's half pit bull. She goes, really? My daughter's dog Cherry is also part pit bull. And as soon as I saw the picture of this dog, I was like, yeah, that's part pit bull. She goes, yeah, they told me it was part pit bull, part German Shepherd. It's not.
I'm trying to find the volume for
Yeah,
my
you're barely coming in. Actually, let me email myself the picture of the dog. My mom was so funny. I was like, Mom, send me a picture of the dog. She goes, I don't know how to do that. I was like, give me your phone. And then I had to figure out how to do it from a flip phone. That was very interesting. Let's see. So I did manage to do it. Oh, you're trying to find the volume. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Let's see. Because I can email me a picture of the dog, and then I can show you guys what she's beautiful. She's a beautiful dog. Ugh. Now, if I can figure out how to do stuff from my phone, we'll be fine. Ella, 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 Ella. Hey, Ella. All right, let's see. The dog definitely does not look like vomit. But yeah, I mean, what kind of name is that for a dog? Oyster. Apparently, their cat's name is Vanilla. I'm like, okay, who named these animals? Craziness. So much fun trying to figure things out, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
All right, let's see.
Speech. That just help.
See how this works. There you go. So that is Oyster. I'm saying that there could be a little bit of German Shepherd, but there's not half German. There's definitely pity in that dog. She's beautiful though, and that's my daughter holding on to her leash. That's my mom's house. Yeah, I don't know, Debbie, but that's the new dog that will be added to my mother's house. She's not overly thrilled. Um, yeah. Apparently, Oyster and the Chihuahua got along fine for a while. My mom's dog Paris, but then Paris decided she had an issue with the dog, and that was the end of that. And so now they don't get along. So the dogs all have to be separated. There are 3 dogs in the house. They all have to be separated. I don't know. Good luck with that. My mom is also not happy with the fact that at Desiree's graduation, she found out some interesting news while she was talking to the boyfriend Justin. Desiree had told her that they would be staying at my mom's house for 6 months until he got his credit card paid off. As with all things manipulative, my daughter gave the bare minimum of information in order to get my mom to agree. And when my mom was talking to Justin, he was like, no, 6 months, no, I have to get my credit score back up. So we'll probably be there at least a year. Yeah. Surprise. Apparently they were all at the house the other day, Justin and his daughter and my daughter. And well, the kids are always there, but Desiree's usually not. And they all had dinner. And although Bella, Justin's daughter, 14-year-old, tried to start doing the dishes, my mom told her, don't worry about it. She'd do them in the morning. And then, the next day she complained to me about how many dishes there were. I was like, you know what? If they're going to be doing all the eating, then they need to be doing all the dishes. So, yeah, that has absolutely no effect. There would have to be some kind of communication. And since my oldest daughter thinks that I'm a toxic person and shouldn't be talked to, it's not going to happen. And if I do anything that she disagrees with, then I have no communication with my grandchildren. So there's nothing I can do about it except for give my mom advice that she won't take. And I'm not going to have a little girl have her animals taken away. That's just cruel. So the girl's 14. If somebody had, I lost my dog when I was 14 and I was absolutely devastated. So no, I won't do that to the girl, but it's just annoying to me that my daughter won't give her complete information, so she doesn't know what she's agreeing to when she agrees to it. Her boyfriend Justin was over on my mom said either yesterday or the day before. He came over to my mom's house. He fixed all the electrical outlets in my daughter's room because they were all loose. And he fixed the shelving in her closet because it had end supports. The top shelf, above where you hang your clothes, has a bracket on either end, but not in the middle. And my daughter's an idiot and piles up a whole bunch of heavy stuff in the middle. So the shelf was bending and ready to just collapse. For being so brilliant, my daughter's really stupid. Oh, I'm sorry, Iris. And the reason all her electrical outlets are loose is because she just yanks things out of the cord, out of the plugs. Like if she's vacuuming or something. My daughter vacuuming is funny. But if she's got something plugged in, she'll just grab the cord and yank it out. She won't just go over and unplug it. And I know she does this because she did it at my house when she stayed there briefly with the baby when we had the mobile home. And I was like, don't do that. Go over and unplug it. And she's like, why? I was like, because you'll wreck the outlets that way. And if they get loose, they become a fire hazard. And she goes, that's stupid. And John was like, no, actually, that's true. And then she was mad because he took my side. And yeah. Well, I hope you get it fixed, Iris. So, and my mom had another meeting with my grandson's doctor. And she told him what happened at the quote unquote evaluation. Hey, Mama Liam. The evaluator that the doctor had referred my mom to asked 10 questions. It took 15 minutes. She didn't try and have any interaction with James whatsoever. She didn't listen to my mother's full explanation. She just cut her off mid-sentence and asked the next question. Basically, she just read off a form. This is not evaluating someone for autism. I was like, what? So I told my mom, I said, make an appointment with the doctor and go talk to him and tell him what happened and tell him that you need somebody that's actually going to do an evaluation. So she tried to call and talk to the doctor, and they told her she needed to make an appointment. So she made an appointment for Monday. She went in and they were like, "Well, where's James?" And she goes, "Well, I don't need James to be here. He's at school." She's like, "I came to talk to the doctor." And they're like, "Well, you need to have an appointment." She goes, "No, I don't. I made the appointment for myself for a conference." So after she said what seemed like forever, she finally got in to talk to the doctor. I'm like, "I'm sorry, it doesn't matter if the kid's there or not. If you need to consult with the doctor and you made an appointment, that time is scheduled for you. That's your time, whatever." So she told the doctor what happened. And of course, being a professional, he can't really say anything negative about the person he sent her to, but she said he kind of shook his head in disgust. So, and I told her, I said, it's important that he knows what that woman's process is because a lot of people are being misdiagnosed and not properly evaluated for autism. So then she asked him if there was somebody else he could refer her to. And he said that because James is now 17 in South Carolina, he's considered an adult and he's a pediatrician. So basically, James is going to have to change doctors too. And that's not going to go over well with him. He doesn't like change. But he said he would research it and get back to her about finding an adult evaluation process or something that can help her. And I said, now it's just up to Mother of the Year to make an appointment after he finds out the information and follow through with it. Yeah, good luck. Even my mom is pretty disgusted with Desiree not being up on trying to help her son. So there's that. So my mom's, very stressed about James and about what's going on in her house. I mean, she turned around and was like, "Well, I guess I'll have to live in my room." And I was like, "Absolutely not." I said, "I do that and it's horrible." I'm like, um, I'm like, no. I was like, let them stay in their rooms. I was like, they're not paying rent. They're allowed in the kitchen and the dining room and their rooms, and that's it. I was like, they can't take over your house. They're not paying for anything except food and internet. They're not even going to be helping with the electric or the water. And there's going to be a hell of a lot more laundry being done now. I mean, come on. So hopefully she will not hide out in her room. That's horrible. And not a fun way to live. I know because I've done it for the past 3 years plus. So almost 4 years now. Yeah. So yeah, just had a lot of stress and trying to figure out food budgets, and it is not easy having $300 to budget for a 5-week month when it's not just for food. I mean, dog food, cat litter, toilet paper. Hey, Tammy. Finances are stressing me out. So that is why I will be doing a sale in the next couple of weeks after I go through all the fun stuff I just found. I did find some stuff that I made too, so that'll be up on the block. Not fancy, but pretty. Some memory wire bracelets with natural stone. Um, Found some more things that John had bought me, which I have to change out the clasp to magnetic ones because my hands are not able to undo any kind of clasp now. Not even the lobster claw clasp. My hands aren't working right. So between flare-ups and oh, Debbie, I'm sorry. That sucks. I've been living in gloves. And they're loosening up, so they're not as tight as they were, so they're not helping as much as they did. And my depression is bad. It's very, very bad. So, I tend to get a bit negative when I get overly depressed. I'm like, fuck this sucks, everything sucks, my life is a big ball of suck. And I know that there are other people that are dealing with hard times and depression, and they don't want to hear all that negative shit. So and I don't deal with people well. I don't people well when I'm in a mood. So, I haven't really been up for peopling and doing my lives. But there were a lot of people that were very concerned, and I wanted to come live and let y'all know I was okay, relatively speaking. Just kind of feels like I'm living in a big ball of suck, is what it is, you know? I mean, I don't have anything to look forward to. And I'm not saying anything against Victoria because I love Victoria. I do look forward extremely much to Fridays now. But, you know, the morning show, I had something to look forward to every day. And now I don't. And now with the writer's strike still going on, I don't even have my late night comedy show things, you know, Stephen Colbert and all that to laugh about. So I'm like, ugh, someone go and slap those writers and get them back on the ball. The hell. So, but in forewarning, I do have the shipping issues all worked out, so I shouldn't have any problems with shipping. I'm able to print my labels from my room because I have my printer in here. And you know, so that should go smoothly as long as I can get a camera working so that y'all can actually see what I'm selling. Doesn't do any good when the picture's all fuzzy. Yeah. Well, I did have somebody that was helping me with the dog food, and that stopped. But you know, I can understand that they were helping me for a really long time, and I'm so appreciative of that. It just was kind of abrupt that it didn't come 1 month, and I didn't have any notifications, so I wasn't prepared for it. But now I'm good. I budgeted in the dog food. Actually, I ordered it off Amazon so it would get delivered so that my mom wouldn't have to have this big bag of dog food. And Amazon is supposed to deliver, the delivery instructions are on the chair next to my door. But the people I bought it from sent it through the USPS, and my postal people don't give a fuck. So they left it at the end of my porch. And then I had something from my Walmart order that my mom was picking up today, but there was one thing. For some reason, even though they have it in the store, they don't put it in your order. They have to ship it, and that's Tyson canned chicken. So that had to be delivered. And again, delivery instructions are right there, put on chair next to door. They left it next to the box with the dog food in it. So I had two things at the end of my porch on Monday. And Monday night I asked my neighbor Donnie if he could put it on the, you know, grab my mail and put it on the chair. And, you know, the next morning, yesterday morning, and he was like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, thanks. And we had a hellacious thunderstorm yesterday. And I'm sitting here thinking, thank God my stuff is on the chair and not sitting there getting soaked. Yeah, till I went out there and my stuff was still at the end of the porch. Donnie never brought it over for me. My mom had to bring it in this morning. So the box was absolutely soaked. Luckily, the dog food is in those plasticky kind of bags now, so it didn't get wet, which is good. But my cans of chicken were sitting out there for 2 days on the porch. I'm not happy. So Walmart got a bad review for me for their delivery. They got a bad delivery last time too because they left it at the end of the porch. I'm like, you know, what's the point of putting delivery instructions if they're not going to fucking follow them? Do your fucking job, people. I mean, I even have a ramp. They don't even have to go upstairs. I hate incompetency. Yep. It's a good idea, Iris. It's a very good idea. Because my delivery people that deliver to me, I mean, maybe they automatically assume that there's somebody here to help me because of they, you know, being handicapped, but guess what? There isn't. So deliver it where I ask you to. Although I will say the last time Donnie brought something up to brought a package from the end of my porch to my door, he put it directly in front of my door. It was the cat food and it was in a really big box. And I couldn't get my door open. I'm like, you have trapped me in my house. What the fuck? So I don't understand why he didn't put it on the chair. It would have fit on the chair. And would have been a lot easier for me to lift because it would have already been at, you know, waist level for me being in the wheelchair. But no, he put it in front of the door. So I had to kind of slowly kind of open my door and push the box trying to get it so that it didn't get too far away, and then I had to try and use my grabber to pull it towards me. Yeah, I hurt myself so bad. My back was screaming at me trying to get that box. I did get it though, but it was not fun at all. I'm like, why would you do that? I mean, before he was putting it on the chair and then putting the chair directly in front of the door. What the fuck? Why are you barricading me in my home? Oh, does it make sense to block my door? No. I mean, I know Donnie had a stroke and doesn't always think things through, but damn. So this morning he sees my mom lifting the box and he goes, "Oh, I forgot to bring your stuff up." I was like, "Yeah, I know." He's like, "I just got home." No, he didn't. He's been home. I'm like, "I've seen him. I've heard him. The man is not quiet, and neither are his yippy little dogs." So it's like, if you forgot, you forgot. I understand that. I mean, the man had a brain bleed and he had a stroke, and he's doing, dialysis for his kidney. I understand he's going through a lot and that, he can forget. I get it. But don't lie to me. I hate that. So, yeah. This moment of silence brought to you by I don't know what the fuck else to talk about. I'm not going to be on very long. My back is still hurting. When my mom and I were going through my room, when she left the room, I have to go through my door backwards, my bedroom door, and she did not close the front door. So I thought she didn't, and I backed right into the front door, and it jolted me bad. So yeah, I'm hurting, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I mean, it was automatic, and I was like, "You didn't close the door, Mom. I backed through my door." She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." People who don't think about what other people have to go through. There was auction drama. I didn't hear how it got resolved. I didn't even know there was auction drama. I haven't gone to any of them. It's too depressing. I don't have any money to buy anything, and I can't chat because my hands hurt too bad. So I have no idea what you're talking about. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Someone has to give me some input to talk about. I still have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know who was selling mystery boxes at $30 a box, and why is it dramatic? Got to give me more than that. Oh, yeah. See, I actually didn't watch the marathon this time. Sorry, guys, but I'm in a frame of mind where I couldn't handle marathon. So, what was the drama? Who was? Tell me. Don't give me one words and little tidbits. Who was selling the boxes, and what were they supposed to be? I don't get it. Why is it dramatic? The boxes were bad. So who was selling them? I mean, it's all recorded, so it's not like you're telling secrets. Oh, well, that sucks. The only mystery box I've ever gotten was one that I won when Adam did his friendship wheel thing, or friendship thing, was raising money, and someone bought me a ticket for that, and I won a mystery box from Ella, and it was absolutely fabulous. That mystery box was amazing. Nails and hair. Are you fucking kidding me? Who the fuck was selling that? Somebody better tell me because I don't ever want to buy from that person. And if you don't want to say it in the chat, then someone fucking message me and tell me who the fuck that was. Well, I would hope so, Tammy. Shit like that, they better have refunded everyone. Seriously. Well, I'm out of the loop. Was it someone new? Because I can't imagine one of our regular people doing something like that. Yeah, I don't blame her. I would say no more mystery boxes during a marathon either. I would say no more mystery boxes, period. Oh. Dibble, you better text me. Tell me fucking who. That's very disappointing. I mean, there's definitely somebody having a more mental problem than I am. I wouldn't do that to anybody on my worst day. Yeah, well, surprise. Mystery is you get a bunch of crap. That's horrible. That's gross. I agree. I agree, Debbie. I mean, if you're going to sell a mystery box, it should be either something that's all sellable, at least something that's in good shape, good condition, you know, um, usable, not broken, but not junk and crap and disgusting shit. I mean, that's okay. I might throw up now. I hope the first wasn't used. The person that messaged me, because that would, yeah, I'd probably sue somebody if they did that. Yeah, just refunding people doesn't redeem their reputation. Not after that. I mean, they literally had to take all kinds of crap and huh, they had to physically take a bunch of bullshit and put it in a bunch of different boxes, make labels, and send them out to people. I mean, that was willful. It wasn't, oops, I accidentally sent you the box that I had trash in. You know what I mean? Hey, Mr. Jim. So, yeah, that's a bit shocking. I mean, what, $30 for a bunch of shit? What the hell? Hey, Anvil. Guess what? You didn't miss it. You're here. Good luck at the doctors, honey. Hope everything goes well. Yeah, I have never bought a mystery box. Like I said, the only mystery box I ever got was the one from Ella, which I won, and it was awesome. Oh, you shrink. Well, I definitely hope things go well. Always good to get your head shrunk when you need it. That's that's a horrible thing to do to people. I mean, $30 is a lot of money, especially for people on, well, I know for me, if I spent $30 and I got a box like that, I would be, oh, you would definitely, there would be an instant live and a rant, and it would probably last for a really long time. The rant. I feel bad for everybody who bought one. And just refunding money doesn't, I mean, that doesn't redeem you. It makes good on you being an idiot. Yeah, people on tight budgets, $30 is a lot. A lot. I mean, to willfully put a bunch of crap in boxes to send out to people that spent good money on it, what were they thinking that that was going to be okay? You know what I mean? What was the thought process behind that? That there wasn't going to be any retaliation for that? I mean, that's yeah, that's not even a prank. I mean, you don't prank people when they give you money. You know what I mean? Not unless the next day you get a, fantabulous box from them too. Yep. This is the first I've heard of it too, and I'm um okay, so they had 30 boxes, 30 mystery boxes that they just resold. That would be the only redeemable thing. Otherwise, they willfully put crap in a box and send it to people, and that's not forgivable. Mr. Jim, nobody can ever fault you for your boxes of any kind. Your stuff is amazing. Yeah, but Dibble, it shouldn't be a lesson that has to be learned. You should know not to send crap to people. I mean, did they really think that 36 people weren't going to say anything? I mean, my mom still tries to steal my little gnome home, my little mushroom house. She's still like, this is so cute. I want to take it home. I'm like, put the mushroom house down. Yeah. Mr. Jim, you and Miss Joni have the most amazing items. And I do apologize for not being there and typing in your chat. I have popped in, but my hands have been hurting so bad that I can't really type that well. So, but I fully support you and Miss Joni. I don't know. They did it once. Why did they think they were going to get away with it the first time? I mean, like I said, what the hell was the thought process? You know? And have they even done a public apology? Thank you. Because selling 36 people a bunch of crap and literal garbage is something that equates to a public apology. and a damn good explanation. Wasn't thinking. That's bullshit. I mean, no one absent-mindedly put a bunch of trash in 36 boxes and sent it out to people, you know? Well, this is the first. I don't think I'm subscribed to them, but this is the first I've heard of the whole thing. So I don't know if a video, a public apology was made. I would hope so, but if it wasn't, it damn well should be. I mean, that equates to being a con job, and I don't like cons. You know, I don't like con artists. Ah, okay. Yeah, like I said, I haven't been going to auctions. It just I want to be able to talk to people if I'm there, and I can't, so it just gets more depressing. So I haven't gone. Rhonda and Robin are really good about taking care of stuff like that, though, especially when, they're the ones helping organize the whole thing, and they are right on that stuff. I mean, if my hands are okay and I can type and say hello to people, then I have no problem being in an auction. Although it still makes me sad when I see something, I'm like, ooh, But at least I can chit chat with people. When I can't, it drives me crazy. So I don't even know if I want to watch that. It will probably piss me off even more. But I'm gonna open it and leave it for when I'm done with my live. I'll watch it. So I'm glad they got it resolved, but still, I wouldn't. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't trust KT Treasures now. Not after that. It's just my personal thing. Someone burns somebody like that many people. Yeah, I would imagine Ella was pissed. I'd have been pissed too. I mean, were they thinking that nobody was going to say anything? So they could get away with it? I don't understand what the thought process was there. I mean, you send out 36 boxes of trash, people are going to say something, especially the people that were buying. Ella and Nikki, they're definitely going to say something. So I wouldn't trust buying from them at all. My personal thing is nope. They did it once. Why would they have even done it the first time? Like I said, what was the thought process behind that? Hey, let's go on the marathon. We have nothing to sell, so we'll sell mystery boxes and just fill them with trash. You know? I mean, it's like they had a 5-year-old packing the boxes, just grabbing stuff around the house. Yeah, exactly. Why would you destroy your business? And that's exactly what they did. If people don't buy from them because they don't trust them now, they have destroyed their own business. So why would they do that intentionally? It makes no sense. Yeah. See, I don't have a test. My test kit didn't work. I can't afford to get another one. There's some stuff I know absolutely is sterling, but other stuff that I have, it'll be marked sterling. And I mean, most of my things that I personally bought were bought from reputable people. But if I'm not sure, I just say it's marked 925. That's all I can tell you. So, but if I know absolutely it's sterling because I bought it from, a jewelry store or, you know, someplace that is like my supply, my like Beeducation, I know it's sterling, then I'll say it's sterling because it is. But if I'm not sure, I just say it's marked. But as a business, they shouldn't have done it in the first place, Debbie. I mean, the fact that they return people's money, that's a good step, but they should not have done it in the first place. Now they've already got the reputation. It doesn't matter if they refunded people's money. Why do it in the first place? It's like breaking a dish and apologizing to it. It's not going to put it back together again. I mean, you can tear up a piece of paper and then use tape and put it back together. It doesn't make it back to the way it was. Well, it might matter to some people. It doesn't really matter to me. I mean, it's good that they return people's money. I mean, what choice did they have? You have 36 people screaming at you, and they can sue you for that. So, I mean, there are legalities involved. So, yeah, they gave everybody their money back, so they didn't have to deal with that. But why the fuck do it in the first place? I mean, they intentionally tried to con people out of their money. And that doesn't say much for them, in my opinion. Dibble has a more forgiving soul than I do. Me, I'm like, fuck you, get the fuck out of here. No one wants to hear that crap no more. Speaking of. Yeah, well, I don't think that dirty fingernails and hair has any, value. Or used tissues or whatever the fuck else was in them. But speaking of masshole, in case my other favorite masshole is listening, Tina, how the fuck are ya? Susanna, I love you. Yeah, got that taken care of. And Darlene, if you're listening at any point in time, we include you in the masshole universe as well. Love you, girl. Hope everything's going well for you. And although no one asked, just in case someone does, no, my son did not wish me a happy Mother's Day. I still have not heard from him in about a month. Well, since the beginning of the month. So there is that. Adding to the joy of my life. Yeah. That's not fucking up, that's conning people out of their money. Fucking up is accidentally sending the wrong package to somebody. You know? Fucking up is sending them the wrong item. Fucking up is not sending 36 people boxes of trash. So I have no problem with them live to sell another day, but they wouldn't be selling to me. Thanks, Iris. That was another reason I avoided the chats and things, is everybody wishing everybody happy Mother's Day. My mother and I are the only ones that wished each other happy Mother's Day. And when you have 3 children and 2 grandchildren, and the only one that wishes you happy Mother's Day is your own mother, not a happy day. Well, I'm not understanding then. Yeah, no poking the bear. Are these boxes that they got in and then just sent back out? Or are they boxes that they actually filled for people that bought them? I mean, because there is a difference. That would be fucking up, because they should have opened the boxes to make sure what was in them. And if that's the case, then they have issues with whoever sold them to them in the first place. Yeah. Because there's a big difference between having an unopened box that you're reselling, you have no idea what's in it, so it is completely a complete mystery. Hey, Bonnie. And a box that you're filling to fill orders for the, that you've gotten. So if they were boxes that were unopened that they just resold, then they would not be responsible for what's in them to a point, although they should have opened. It's not difficult to reseal a box, so they should have opened them to double check as soon as they came in before they resold them. That's a responsibility on their part. However, if they just resold mystery boxes, then yeah, there's a little bit of leeway there. They bought 500 pounds of 500 pounds of jewelry. Holy crap! And was boxing to ship out. Okay. So were the mystery boxes supposed to be jewelry? Because that would indicate that they were boxing to ship out, that they were the ones putting the things in the mystery boxes. Therefore, they knew that all that was going in the boxes was trash. See, this is very confusing. So they had to have seen it. £500. Damn. That's a lot of jewelry. Did anybody even get, was it supposed to be jewelry mystery boxes? Hey, Paul. Yep, it's me. Okay, so they were supposed to be jewelry mystery boxes and said how good they would be, and everybody got trash. Okay, then that's on them. If they were the one boxing and supposedly putting the jewelry in the boxes, and they were putting trash in the boxes, then that is completely on them. That's a con job. Paul, I'm still on this side of the dirt. Yeah, right, Tammy? Getting nails and hair in your box is awesome. Like I said, I don't understand the thought process behind that. So, I don't get that. See, they almost had a little bit of leeway there, and then Bonnie came and killed it. Yeah, that's a mess. And it's a shame that now they have a bad reputation for doing something stupid like that. I mean, why would you do that? This is Fluffy-esque. I do love a good auction etiquette chat. Auction etiquette. I mean, this is like something Fluffy would pull. You know what I mean? And that's not anyway close to being a compliment. Yeah. Well, if they were supposed to be boxing up all the orders, they had open boxes and they were putting things in the boxes in order to fill the orders that they got, and they filled the boxes with trash, then their credibility is crap as far as I'm concerned. Paul, it's YouTube. People are always going to have drama. Come on. I haven't been in chats or anything because my hands hurt too bad to type, but people were inquiring on how I was doing and messaging me to see if I was okay. So I figured I'd go live and let everyone know I was still breathing. And this is YouTube drama I didn't even know about until Dibble brought it up. So but that's a horrible thing to do to people. I mean, especially a mystery box. You're looking forward to it. KT Treasures. Well, apparently they sold 30 mystery boxes to 36 people, or $30 mystery boxes to 36 people during the marathon. And all anyone got in their boxes was trash, like used tissues and hair and nails and all kinds of garbage. They did refund everybody's money, apparently, from what's being told in the chat. But the fact that it happened in the first place is, yeah. Well, I made sure I said that, Dibble. Everybody got refunded, but I would imagine that they had to make a stink before they did because they sent the boxes out. So, I mean, obviously they were hoping that at least most people wouldn't ask for their money back or something. Yeah, they just had a marathon the beginning of the month on Robin and Tania's channels. And KT Treasures was selling on it, and I didn't watch, so I don't know. This is the first marathon I've missed, but I just wasn't in the mood to socialize. So, and with my depression, I have a hard time keeping my concentration on things. Yeah, it's been bad for a couple of months. Which is why I haven't been doing my lives, just because I get very negative when I get really depressed, and I'm kind of like everything sucks. And thank you, Paul. Hi, how are you? Yeah, the marathon is always fun because there's the people that you know, and then there's the people that are new, and it's fun to see new people. But doing something like that to our community is not a good thing, and I'm very disappointed and disgusted from what I'm hearing was in the boxes. That's gross. I mean, why would you send used tissues to somebody? One, that's a biohazard. You know, I mean, come on, you're sending bodily fluids in the mail. Ew. Oh yeah, the marathon is always fun. There's very rarely any problems. Um, I would say this is a pretty big one overall, but for the majority, the marathons always run fairly smoothly, and there's usually not too much of a problem. Now, the internal workings, I don't know. I'm sure sometimes they have to chase down people to make payment or whatever, but yeah, don't let it become fluffy. That'd be a bad thing. He never sent used tissues in the mail. He didn't send what he was supposed to, but yeah. Yeah, I don't do whatnot. Not my thing. But I hope you're having good luck there. More power to you. Bye, Paul. Have a good one. You're not the boss to me, Paul. Don't tell me what to do. See you later, alligator. In a while, crocodile. In a few, cashew. Yeah. Well, whatever the issue was, I'm sure that Robin and Rhonda took care of it in a very professional manner because that's what they do. And I know if I had a problem with something that happened in the marathon, I would have all the confidence in the world that they would help take care of it. Yeah, right? To a cool girl I like a lot. Stay cool. What are you doing, devil cat? You're looking very evil. Oh, get off me. Why are you licking my forehead, you weirdo? Demon cat. Demon kitty. I don't know what Bonnie's doing. My I Spy camera's down. Sorry. I wish I could find the lotion that I was looking for. My skin is incredibly dry. I'm starting to look like lizard bear. Starting to get gator skin. And the lotion that I have Gold Bond lotion, but it doesn't work as well as the Vaseline intensive care stuff that I had. I just can't find it. Bonnie is crafting. Yay. Yeah, go bug the dog. Go on, you know she loves it. Go bug the dog. Go, 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 go. She's going to bug the dog. I don't know where Kathy is. I haven't seen Kathy. Hope she's okay. Dibble. I haven't been able to do any crafting. Between my eyes and my hands, nothing is working. So I am hoping that once we get this room finished and get all the dust out of here, that my eyes clear up a little bit and I'm able to see again. That would be nice. I started using my magnifier glasses so that I could read the few books that we've come across. I have a whole box of books, but it's over in the corner and I can't get to it. But we've come across a few in the boxes that we've gone through, and I'm like, "Ooh, book, give me that." So my magnifier glasses are working well. Has a little light in the middle. Pretty awesome. Unfortunately, they don't stay in your face that well, and the little elastic thing that's supposed to go on them to hold them on your head like a headband, um, it won't fit on the eyepieces, the end pieces, so I can't use it. I'm like, why would you make something and put it in the box with things that it won't work with? That doesn't make any sense. Might just be my hands, but the holes are way too small to fit these earpieces through. So Dibble, you're silly. I'm actually going to be ending this pretty soon. Well, there's no blowing up the print on books, so the magnifier glasses work well. I just can't tilt my head and try and read. I have to hold my book up in front of my face and read. That way the glasses stay on my face. But I found 3 of my Dragon Riders of Pern books, which I love that series by Anne McCaffrey. Unfortunately, I had the whole set, and I took it to North Carolina when I was going to move there because my friend wanted to read them, and she put the box of books underneath their air conditioner, which turned out to be tilted the wrong way. So it leaked into the box and ruined all my books, and she did not offer to even replace them. So that was an entire series of books gone. There were a lot of books in that series. Took me forever to collect them. And so yeah, I'm pretty pissed. Yeah. I love the Perm books. So, and I looked them up on Amazon, and they're way too expensive for me to even get on Kindle. So, because I do have a Kindle on my laptop, I have the Kindle app, but I can't afford the Kindle thing for Amazon. So, they're good books. I actually cried when she died. Her son doesn't write as well. Her books. He doesn't have the same flair she did. Even the books that are a combination of the two of them um, don't have the same flair, but they kind of drag. They're very slow. But her books alone are good. Oh, used copies are fine. I don't mind used books. I just can't afford them. Yeah, he's more technical and it drags out and he puts too many details that don't really need to be there. Um, like he over details things. But still, I miss being able to read them because they're books that you can reread over and over from the very start when they first land on the planet. Even before they land on the planet, when they're still on the ships and everything, the books are rereadable, and I like them. But I can't afford books. Well, I can't afford food. I'm definitely not spending money on books. So, yep, Yeah, going right through the process of setting everything up, and then finding the little dragonlings, and then making the dragons, creating the dragons and stuff. It's just very cool, and it's I don't know. I just sat fascinated by those books. I like them. They're cool. I also read her book, where they landed on the planet that had the dinosaurs. I read that one too. That one was pretty interesting. But Dinosaur Planet. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Dinosaur Planet. Turns out it's a zoo for aliens that look like little mountains. Well, yeah, there were no dinosaurs. There were no dragons in it. I mean, you can't beat a book that's got dragons that you can ride in it, you know. But it was interesting. It was a very interesting concept that aliens took creatures off our planet to put them on another planet as like a living zoo type of thing, you know. Oh, I'm tired. I did not take a nap after my mom left. I tried. I just couldn't get comfortable. My hands hurt. Yippee lady. Aliens. Yep. I'm still here, bee lady. Been going through a lot emotionally and physically and all that. But I'm still here. I am going to be ending the live in a couple of minutes because I'm starting to fall asleep sitting up. My back is starting to scream at me. I need a nap. Yeah. Depression is not a fun thing. Otherwise, they would name it something else, right? Yeah. Thank you. But I do want to thank everybody for coming in and saying hello. Nope, I don't have any meds for anything. Otherwise, I probably would not be as depressed because I'm always in pain and it sucks. I have nothing. I'm even out of Tylenol. Well, in order to get meds, you have to be able to go to the doctor. And since I can't, and yeah, even if I could, they'd still have a minimal that you have to pay like $1 or $2 or $3 or whatever. I can't afford it. And my if I was able to get the doctor and get my nerve pain meds, it's like $60. I don't have a prescription plan, so yeah, it's not happening. Such is my life. That's what I deal with. Yeah, you know you're in rough shape when you're going through boxes of stuff and you find a container that's like a pill container that's got pennies in it, and you get all excited because you found money. Yeah, it's bad. Although I just put the actually it was a pickle jar and it was about a quarter full of pennies, nickels, dimes. I don't think there were any quarters in it. And my mom's like, "Well, why don't you keep that out?" And I'm like, "No, that's the only inheritance my kids are getting. I'm putting that back in my stuff." So, although if I'm not able to get back to doing my metal smithing and my metal stamping and all of that, then I have a lot of equipment to sell. I just don't want to get to that point yet until I know for sure that I won't be able to do it anymore. I spent a lot of money on all that equipment and supplies, so I don't want to give up right away. You know, well, 3 years isn't really right away, but you know what I mean. Nope, doctor won't do it. Yep, my doctor wouldn't do it in the middle of a pandemic. You think he's going to do it now? Nope. Although we're supposed to be getting another doctor because my mom has the same doctor, and apparently this one is leaving. God, because he's an asshole. And we're supposed to be getting another one. Although that one will probably want to see me in person as a first time visit, and I can't do that either. So, nope. I have not gone through my front door in over 3 years, literally. So, no, it'll go. It'll fit through there. I just can't get back in because the bump on the outside is too high for the wheels to get over. So, without somebody to pull me through the door backwards, I can't get back in the house. So, I mean, I can get out in case of emergency as long as my neighbor hasn't blocked me in with a package, which is still just weird that he does that. But I can't get back in on my own. So, nope, haven't gone through the door. The landlord did put a low threshold on the inside of the door, but he can't do anything about the outside. Well, he could, but he's not. So, well, in order to do some kind of ramp, we'd have to take off the outside door and blah blah blah, or he'd have to modify the door frame. And I don't know. He won't do it because his dad doesn't want any kind of, I don't know, whatever. He made some excuse, but nope. Plywood wouldn't do any good because it would still be too high for the. It has to be a ramp. It has to be slanted. I mean, because there's like a inch and a half lift on it now. Yeah, I only have one floor. I live in a house, one floor. So, I mean, I'm sure there's a way that it can be done, but it's just not being done. So, and I can't argue with my landlord because he hasn't raised my rent, and he could have because he's raised everybody else's, and he doesn't make a big deal about anything. So, yeah, you would think, but there isn't. Yeah. We don't argue with the guy, especially when I don't have a rental agreement. I'm going month by month. And if he decided he wanted to evict me, I have nowhere to go and no way to get there. So, yeah, we don't argue with the landlord. I mean, he's a pretty cool landlord, so we just deal with it, you know. Like I said, I can get out if there's an emergency. If there's a fire in my house or something, then I can get out. Of course, then I'm screwed anyway, but um I can get down to the driveway, can't get much farther than that. Um it would be helpful. That would help me get out the door and you know things like that. But the problem is that my dog wouldn't be able to go underneath it to go outside, so I wouldn't be able to use it to put the dog out. No, I'm in South Carolina. My dog has to go underneath my wheelchair chair in order to get outside to go to the bathroom. And motorized wheelchairs usually have the batteries underneath the chair, like a regular wheelchair with motor on it. The motor's underneath it, so she wouldn't be able to get under there to get in. Yeah, I could get in and out with a motorized wheelchair because it's got torque. I mean, it's got thicker tires and it's got torque. It's not me trying to push the wheelchair physically because I mean, I have a bad back too. And for some reason, the front door is more narrow than the doorways in my house. So the one time I tried to help John get me through the door, I ended up banging my elbow on the door frame, and that kind of sucked. But can't put the dog in my lap. One, I don't have a lap. Two, the dog is 35 pounds. She's too big. And there'd be no way for me to put her down, and there's just no space. Okay. I do have a picture somewhere. I'll show you. Yeah, it's supposed to, Debbie. It's scheduled for tomorrow. See if I can find where I put it. There it is. Right. This right here is the area that I have to put my dog out. As you can see, that right there is the door frame, and my washer and dryer stick out past my door frame. So these little tracks right here on either side, that's where my wheels go. So I have to get right up to the door. There's no handle. I have to unhook it, hold on to the leash so that the door doesn't go flying open. And the dog goes under the wheelchair and out the door. Simmy, enough. Then when she comes inside, she comes under the wheelchair and she comes back in the house. So that's my space. That's what room I have to work with to put the dog out. And I have to get right up to the door in order to unhook it. So there's no place. This dog would not fit on my lap at all. She's too big. Anderson. Oh yeah. Well, it's a she has a kennel out there. Oh no, if she gets loose, yeah, it's see you later. Yeah, it's definitely a squashy little room. Um, if she gets loose, she's running the neighborhood. There's no getting her back. But she has a kennel out there. We had to put a kennel up, which was donated by an awesome person because I can't if she gets tangled up on a tie out or she gets attacked by a dog because we have dogs that wander the neighborhood and she has been attacked before. There's no way I can get down there to help her because that door opens up and it's straight down cement steps. There's no way I would be able to. Nobody cleans it. It hasn't gotten cleaned. It kind of is just how it is. Yeah, it's very narrow. Yeah, see, the door to the kennel is right up against my steps, and the steps have like a side to them, so she doesn't wander off the sides of the steps. And there's no way to get into the kennel unless you come through my house and go down my back steps. So nobody cleans it. It just kind of Mother Nature takes care of it, and she only goes out there to go to the bathroom and come back in. So it's not very. It's like 10 feet by 10 feet. I wish it was bigger, but I didn't want to. See, I had originally asked for like a a benefit auction or something. But then the person I asked to help organize it, they uh, they just bought it for me, which was awesome of them. It's not really a run area; it's just a go out and go pee and go poop and come back inside area. Yeah, yeah. So the neighbor lady has one that's those panels, and it's like set up octagonally, and it's gigantic. And I wish I could have something like that for her because it would give her more room to if she had the zoomies or whatever. But I can't afford something like that because those are like 130 bucks, 150 bucks a panel plus the door, which I wouldn't really need the door because it could come right up to the steps. But yeah, so it's the best we could do that Simi is safe and I don't have to worry about her getting attacked. And I mean, she goes out, she does her business, she comes back in. She doesn't linger out there. She's never been like that. She's always been really quick about doing her business and coming back in. We don't leave her outside. She has been attacked. When she was on the tie out, she's been attacked 3 times since we moved here because of the assholes that let their dogs run the neighborhood. So, but that back then, either John or my son were here to go out there and separate the dogs and rescue her. Or if she wrapped herself around the post and couldn't get in, I wouldn't be able to go get her. She'd be stuck out there. So yeah, yeah. There's no floor. It's just this kennel. It's just around the kennel. Like it sits directly on the ground. It actually had a cover, but I didn't have them put the cover on it because we get strong winds here, and if the thing got lifted up and rolled across the yard, I wouldn't be able to put my dog out. So we didn't. I don't have the cover on it, but it's just it's all one. Well, it's not all one piece, but it's put together so it's all one piece. It's square, and she goes on the grass. There's no floor. Yeah, winds. Well, it came with the cover, but I just didn't have them put the cover on. The cover's actually still folded up and in plastic on my porch. It's been like that for a couple of years now. So it's 10 foot by 10 foot. It's enough for her to go do her business. I mean, yeah, I'd like it to be a little cleaner, but hey, at least this way, the guy that mows my yard only has to worry about his own dog's poop because his dog's tie out comes into my yard. Him and Simi are in love. His big Rottweiler named Caesar. He's gorgeous. They talk to each other. Yeah, it does. So, but it was the safest option. And when my son moved out and I had nobody to put the dogs out, and I had both dogs here, I had to put down puppy pads and clean up after them. That was horrible. And neither one of the dogs wanted to go to the bathroom in the house because they were trained to go outside. So they acted like they did something wrong, even though there were puppy pads down in the areas that they were allowed to go. And then the landlord freaked out because they were going in the house. It was just horrible. And cleaning up after that was not fun because my dog does the walk and drop. She walks around and leaves a trail. So, you know, it's not fun to clean that up when you're in a wheelchair. It's not fun to clean up at any point in time, but when you're in a wheelchair, it's worse. So I was very, very grateful when my YouTube angel bought me the kennel and my neighbor put it together for me and set it up for me. He was very sweet. So then my dog had a safe place to go. Because I was very worried about my baby. Yeah, see, I never trained my animals to go to the bathroom in the house. I never used puppy pads or paper. My dogs were kennel trained, crate trained, and they would come out of the crate and go directly outside. And, you know, all that. I mean, Simi house trained by the time she was 3 months old, 2 months. Well, about 2.5 months, she was completely house trained. So she's never gone to the bathroom in the house unless, you know, that she had an accident because she had the runs or something. And oh my God, the guilt on the dog's face. Like, I'm so sorry, you know, and I'm like, felt so bad for her. But yeah, Simi was interesting when it crate trained because I was where I was living, the house was disgusting. They had 5 dogs and they let them pee and poop in the house all over the place. I mean, under their dining room, under their kitchen table was absolutely disgusting. And so I'm trying to crate train my dog to go outside, yet she's smelling all this on the carpet. But she still did really well. Um, you know, and the woman was like, "Your dog just peed on my rug." I'm like, "Well, that's because your rug smells like dog pee. If the dog thinks that's the bathroom, that's where she's gonna go. Clean your carpet." You know. I am actually, B lady. I do have a knack for it. Unfortunately, that doesn't do me much good now. I wish I had honed the skill when I was younger, because I'd be Kodi, the dog whisperer. I'd be rivaling Caesar Milan, man. But I am really good with dogs and training them. My mom is absolutely amazed that Simi behaves the way she does and that she's so well trained. And I was like, well, you know what? If you had taken my advice with your dogs, they would be too. But you didn't listen to me, so your dogs turned into wild animals. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I've had, you know, when my neighbor went over to feed the dog across the street because people moved out, they lost their electricity and they had a baby, so they had to go live with their mom. They left the dog there living outside. He was a pit bull, gorgeous pit bull. Um, but he was very rambunctious. And of course, my neighbor would go over to feed him, and the dog's jumping all over him and trying to play and, you know, being a pity, being love me. And so John and I were on the porch listening to him like, down, get off me. I can't feed you. I can't give you water if you're jumping on me. And John looked at me and said, go ahead, go rescue him. So I went over because, you know, this is when I could still walk. And I went over there and the dog knew me and comes running like, I love you, comes running at me full out speed. And I just held up one finger and went, eh. Dog came skidding to a stop and sat down in front of me and looked at me. And my neighbor went, how in the fuck did you do that? I was like, I am the dog whisperer. So I kept the dog occupied while my neighbor got his food and water all set up, and I gave the dog a lot of loves. And, you know, the one thing I could never train Simi to do was not take off, like you're saying, B lady. Inside, she behaves perfectly. If she's on a leash, she behaves perfectly. On the tie out, she behaves perfectly. She gets loosened out in the world and whew, she is gone like the wind, man. She leaves a sonic boom behind her. You know? Yeah, when we had the dog, the pit bull living next door that got neglected so bad, I trained that dog too. I go to other people's houses and they have an untrained dog. It's trained by the time I leave. Donna, what's up, speed bump? I I I had to train Issa and her dog when I came back from North Carolina. Man, that was a mess. Neither one of them had any table manners. But beep beep beep. See, the thing is that a lot of people don't understand that they think that they're doing right by doing the whole. My mom is a good example. She comes in and she talks baby talk to Simi, which of course Simi eats up with a spoon. She loves it. She rolls all over the place. She jumps around. She gets all excited because talking baby talk instills high energy. So the dog translates that into be high energy. What people don't understand is when you have a dog, dogs were bred for a purpose. Originally, they all had jobs. Even the tiny ones had a job. So when you have a dog and you don't give it something to do, like commands to sit or lay down or go to bed or whatever, then they don't understand when they get yelled at why they're getting yelled at, and it makes them feel bad. And why should you make your dog feel bad? You know, Simi's almost 11, and you'd never know it because she's 2, but she still has commands that she has to listen to, and this is them fulfilling their job. If they are given a command and they do it correctly, they have fulfilled their job. They've done what they're supposed to do. So it gives your dog purpose, and people a lot of times don't understand that. And a lot of times, if dogs aren't trained correctly, this is why they get bored and they chew up your house. Simi has never chewed up anything except a paper towel. Yeah. Yeah. And always try and make your commands less than 3 syllables or 3 syllables or less. Now, Simi is way too smart for her own good. Like if she's outside and she's, for some reason, because occasionally she does, she gets distracted because all the dogs in the neighborhood, and I live in Catopia. Um, so she gets distracted. So I'll be like, all right, you're done. Come on. And she'll like twitch an ear. So I know she heard me, but she's ignoring me. And I'll look at her and go, what did I say? And she will turn around and come inside immediately. And the neighbors have remarked on they wish they could get their kids to listen that good. But, I mean, I've seen videos of a pair of bulldogs that people, the owners, they they left them at home when they went to work, which you have to do unless you're allowed to take your dog to work. The dogs ate their house literally. Sure, bee lady, I don't know how good I can do being in the chair because I can't reach anything, but hey. um but the dogs literally were eating the drywall of these people's houses because the dogs were bored. They weren't in a kennel and they were bored. They had toys, but they just they weren't being exercised enough. And a lot of dogs, I've never had to take Simi for a walk. Simi is actually a very low energy dog unless she knows she can release it, like when my mom comes over and talks baby talk. Yeah, they were eating drywall. They were actually eating drywall right next to the electrical outlet, which was very concerning. So it was Justin Silver that it was his show that I was watching, and he helped them. He showed them how to crate train, how to crate the dogs and how to take them for walks to make sure that they release that energy, and then how to play. Because there's a difference between a dog going on a walk and a dog just playing. So, yep, Donna, you know why? It's because the sharp staccato noises, like or or a click or a whistle or something, it actually resets the dog's brain. It gets their attention and it resets their brain so that they pay attention to you, because then they know they're supposed to pay attention to you. And that's why those kind of noises, yeah. It's funny because I watched Caesar Milan and I watched Justin Silver, And I know a lot of people say Cesar Millan doesn't actually know about training dogs. It's actually one of his trainers that he gets all his information from, but whichever, the information is found because a lot of the things he does are things that I've used before I watched him. And I'm like, huh, I knew how to do that. Yeah, Iris, that's really dangerous. So, but you have to be, the biggest thing about training is you have to be repetitive. You have to have the patience to be repetitive, to make sure you do and say the same thing every time that you want the dog to do whatever you're trying to get the dog to do. And like, I cannot stand animals staring at me when I'm eating. Absolutely hate it. So all of the dogs in my house have always been trained to go lay down. Now, Mihai used to get sneaky and she'd lay down like under the TV table, the tray table that we'd eat on. She'd lay down with her head directly underneath it. So I couldn't see her, but she'd damn well see if anything fell, which that was fine. As long as I couldn't see her, I was good. Simi will lay behind me or she'll lay over on my pillow when I'm eating. The only time she'll get up and interfere is if the cat gets too close while I'm eating. So when I came back from North Carolina, Dodge, Issa's dog, he's a lab pit and he was massive at 6 months old. She threw food over everybody's food for the dog. So I had this big drooly dog jumping over my plate of food to get what she was throwing. And I was like, oh, no. Now, all the other dogs were all laying down facing away from us because that's how I had trained them. And I looked at her, I said, don't do that again. And she goes, it's my dog. I'll feed him if I want to. I said, if you do that again, I'm going to give him your whole plate of food. You'll be done. Dog will have your food, and I won't have to worry about it. And she looked at John, and she was like, are you going to let her talk to me like that? He goes, I'm not having her take my food. Because that had happened before. And so I made Dodge go lay down and trained both him and Issa on proper table etiquette. How someone gets to be her age and didn't know any kind of table etiquette. No. Cat, go. So, yeah. And the thing is, too, is you have to be alpha with your dog. Now, dogs, even though a lot of people don't believe it, have been DNA down to their last little genome, and they are related to wolves. So they're a pack animal, which means you have to be leader of your pack. So even if you only have one dog, that's a pack. That's your pack. Your dog is your pack. And you have to be alpha. Now, Issa didn't have an alpha bone in her body. Yeah, I don't. No, but dogs do not watch me eat. I'd have them all laying down, facing away from us. And Issa, for some reason, because John once said, "How come the dog?" Well, Issa said, "How come the dogs all listen to her and they never listen to me?" And John made the mistake of saying, "Well, because Kodi is alpha." And after that point, everything we did, Issa was like, "Well, I'm alpha," and John and I would just kind of laugh because the woman couldn't be alpha if she was holding a neon sign. like, I'm like, what? She had no concept of what being alpha meant. So it's not something you can just declare yourself. And you have to be in charge. Simi to this day still tries to get away with stuff because that's what they do. This cat is going to get a beating. Go away. The demon cat. She's getting into things. But like, I'll go to give Simi her food and she'll try and charge right to it. And I look at her, I go, what are you doing? And she'll look at me for a minute and I'll look at her and she'll sit down and I'll finish putting her food in her bowl and she'll kind of inch forward and I'm like, really? And she'll sit back down and look at me until I pull the container away that I pour her food into her bowl with. And I'll make her sit there for a few minutes. I'm like, okay, now eat. And then she'll eat. Because she has to know that I tell her when to eat. I don't make her wait long because, she's my baby. But my mom says that her dog Paris, the little She insists that Chihuahuas are one people dogs. They pick one person and that's it. I'm like, no, you're just not training her correctly because Paris doesn't like anybody else in the house. She barks at everybody and will sit on my mother. This is because my mother has really high anxiety and she's relaying that to the dog. And she'll hold the dog. Now, if she left the dog alone and had the dog interact with everyone else, then this wouldn't be a problem. But because she's holding the dog, she's basically telling the dog to defend her. So that's why the dog snaps and snarls at everybody. Now, I could tell my mom this. She's not going to listen to it. So it's pointless to waste my breath on this because my mom thinks I don't know anything about anything. But and then there's been times when I'll say something. Cats are a whole different thing. Cats are assholes. They really are. I mean, it's in their nature. They were once worshipped as gods and they remember it inherently, but they can be trained to a point. You have to work with the nature of the cat in order to train the cat. Now, my cat, Marty, the demon cat, hated Issa with a passion. From the minute we had this cat in the house, she would go after Issa and try and make her bleed. Well, people have Caesar Milan and stuff for that. I mean, they have experts that know more about it than I do. Marty was an outdoor cat. She was taken off the streets and taken to the shelter when she was 3 or 4 months old. And so she had attitude. I mean, she was feral, And with Issa didn't try being nice to the cat. She would try patting the cat incorrectly, like against the hair. Cats hate that. And, the cat just never liked her. Now, with me, when the cat would come over and lay next to me, hey, TG, the cat would try and bite me. I'd start patting the cat. The cat would try and bite me. I would take my hand away. I would not give her any affection if she tried biting me. And the cat eventually learned, here she comes now, that if she bites me, she doesn't get any loving. I have long nails. She loves being scratched under the chin. Hi, Irene. She wouldn't get scratched under the chin and get anything that she liked if she bit me. So in that way, by withdrawing positive, I didn't give her negative. I never hit her. I never pushed her off the bed for it unless she bit me really hard. Then I was like, nope, you're gone. Yeah, declawing is the cruelest thing that you can do. You know how they do that? They rip their claws out. It's horrible. Well, TG, you're here and you're not an angel, so why? Are you looking to steal another halo? But in that way, the cat and I came to an agreement that if she was nice to me, I was nice to her. So in that way, the cat was trained to learn that positive gets positive. She still hated Issa though, with a passion, but she was calmer with everybody else. Now with John liked to play rough with the cats, so she could get away with a little bit rougher play with him. But I also busted him letting her eat off his plate, so that was a no-no. He got in trouble for that. Wasn't the cat's fault; it was his fault. Bad. But even the cats know not to come near me when I'm eating. So yeah, it's possible. It does take a lot more patience to train a cat than it does a dog. A lot more patience. But the only time she's drawn blood is when she runs across me. Like she runs with her nails out, so she'll run across me and dig in, and I'm like, ah. And I'll tell you a secret. I used to train the horses when I worked at the barn too. I did. I used to help train the horses. I was 12 and 13. I love animals. I really do. We trained our ferrets too. Well, I trained the ferrets. John just looked at them and laughed. Well, I have 2 cats, and they both try and love up on the dog, and the dog growls at them until they go away. Unless she's already asleep. And it's usually Onyx, the one that's almost all black. That's my love bug. She loves to cuddle. Um, she'll sneak up on the dog really slowly if the dog is sleeping, and she'll curl up against her and sleep until the dog realizes she's there, and then the dog gets up and moves. I love mini horses. I've never had much experience with goats, but as long as they don't headbutt me, I'm good. Or step on my feet. I've always loved animals. Always, always. And I know how to groom a Cocker Spaniel. Yeah, I know they do. I was going to get little pygmy goats when we lived out in the woods. We didn't have a lawnmower, and the yard was horrible. And we were going to get little pygmy goats to take care of the yard until they found out that they had to have these really strict requirements for housing. Like their little barn type of thing enclosure had to be like 4 inches off the ground. It had to be enclosed with this certain specific stuff. It had to, you had to have all these shots, and I was just like, holy crap. So yeah, I we vetoed that. But we were gonna get 2, and we were gonna eat, and the kids were each gonna have to take care of them. But they were really happy when they found out they did not have to take care of goats. But I figured it would be the perfect solution to the yard, so instead I just burned it down. Yeah, you heard that right. I burned it down. It was a control burn. I know what I'm doing with fire. Hey, when social services tells you that your crap is out of control and get it cut down, and you don't have a way to do it, fire is the option. So fire is what I did. It worked. 2 days, well, the day after that, it rained, and the day after that, I had a nice, pretty yard. Fire! Of course, my neighbor had a heart attack, but ooh, that's not good, B lady. Yeah, there were. I had a guy that had pygmy goats too. I would have been able to get them for like $50 a piece, which is a really good deal. But he told me look into all the requirements first because I don't want to be selling you goats that you're going to get in trouble for. And he didn't want his goats getting confiscated, so I looked into it and I went, holy crap, never mind. I mean, we were allowed to have them. We were out in the country, and we had almost 4 acres of property, so 2 little pygmy goats would have been no problem. Most of it was wooded area, but I just couldn't afford all the requirements. So, yep, it replenishes the soil. It puts in nitrogens and oxygen and stuff into your soil if you burn. That's why forests are so pretty after a forest fire, but still, forest fire is bad. But it was probably about a quarter of an acre. I burned it in 4-foot sections because my weeds were taller than I was, and I'm 5'5", so it had to go. The social service people were like, "Oh, you can get snakes." I'm like, "I'm in the fucking woods. I got a snake that lives under my house. What are you talking about, idiot?" Yep, B lady, the ashes do, as long as it's not overly done. But I wasn't. I mean, the fires also burst seeds. A lot of seeds are heat activated, and so the grass seeds burst, and then when it rained, the nutrients just, I mean, like instant lawn. It was beautiful for a while. Um, so yeah, ashes do help. But my poor neighbor, man, he came flying out of his house, grabbed his hose. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm sitting on the back steps with the hose in my hand. I'm like, yeah. He goes, "Your yard's on fire." I'm like, "I know." He goes, "Have I mentioned you're crazy?" I'm like, "Yep." He's like, "You're nuts." I'm like, "It's working." He goes, "Crazy." He's like, "Don't worry, I won't let it get to your house." He goes, "Well, that's good." He goes, "Next time, just ask me. I got a bush hog. We can take care of your yard." I'm like, "Okay." Because I told him why I had to do it, you know. And the social service guy, he was like, "Oh, your lawn looks great." I'm like, "Thanks." Don't tell a Yankee girl she can't get something done. No, it was in little 4 foot sections. It was like little clusters. I did like a 4 foot square at a time. And that way I could control it with the hose. Because my yard was backed up to my woods. So I had to be careful not to have the trees catch on fire. So I wet them down first, but you know, because I didn't want my woods going up. They were not necessary to go up. Besides, the deer used to. I felt bad because the deer used to bed down in the long weeds and everything. My property was a safe place for wildlife, and the deer. We had 4 or 5 deer that used to come and bed down in the yard, and I felt bad that they couldn't do that anymore. But they found another spot in the woods. So one of the neighbors once asked John if he could hunt deer on our property. John said, "Only if you want the crazy redhead that lives here to shoot your ass." Because I knew damn well that guy didn't need to hunt to get meat. He had plenty of money. So, nope, you don't need to be shooting nothing on my property. We had no hunting signs all over the place, along with signs that said hunters will be shot. Yep. Oh, thank you. All right, guys, I'm good. Like 2 minutes. So, if anybody has any links they want to drop or channels or any of that fun stuff, dibble. I don't have any more hens either. Although my mom did bring me a dozen eggs today. Yay. She also made pot roast, and she froze a couple of containers of food for me. Yay, food. Although she said the carrots didn't cook all the way through, so I'll have to take those out, but that's okay. She's all telling me, she goes, "So put another vegetable in it." I'm like, "Mom, I know how to make food." Oh, really? Eggs are finally going down. Nice. I'm glad you were here too, Iris. Yeah, B Lady Dibble has lots of videos, little shorts on her channel that have her babies on there. Babies. Well, I hope everybody has an awesome rest of their week. Have a good night. Thank you for coming and playing and visiting with me. I was happy to see everybody. And I will try and I'm not going to promise, but I'll try and go live again Saturday morning. It really depends day by day on how I'm feeling, but I'll try. I love you guys. Thanks for coming and playing. Bye.